What did you learn about work when you was working at MTV? What did you learn?
That you gotta. Oh, I learned a lot of things. I learned like how to kind of behave on set. I learned like, you know, how to interact with other people in the business, like what they're looking for,
right?
Who are the real ones? Who are the fake ones? You know, like I met some real friends there. You know, I met Charlamagne there. I met Lil Duval there, like mentors.
Right.
Like, you know, Duval is like this huge mentor for me. Everything that I've done in stand-up is based on something that Lil Duval's already done. I don't think Duval gets enough credit for the influence he's had on comedy and internet culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
People are copying things he's done without even knowing that he was the first one to do it.
Yeah, he did that 10, 15 years at the beginning.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
He's also like a literal, like if you sit with him and you just around him, you're feeling something. Yeah, it's just weird. It's like wise beyond his ears. It's a very interesting sensation when you're around him. He's a fascinating guy, and he's like one of the few mentors that I've had in comedy and just entertainment.
How did you and Charlamagne decide to get together and do a pod?
Man, he asked me. He was like, "Yo, you want to do?" Because we would just talk all the time, like during the week. Things.
Ask you.
Yeah, it's
Too late
fun.
now. Nope.
Yeah, you got me. You know, you gotta fight him. No, but we would just talk throughout the week. We're just on the phone and like just talking and just making jokes about whatever. And he has this great line where we've been saying on the pod, like when anybody brings up a topic, we just go, I just want to let you all know we're not mature enough to have this conversation.
Right.
So no matter what it is, we're not mature enough. So if you choose to listen, that's on you because we told you we're not mature enough. But and then he was like, yo, you should do this pod. And then Chris Moreau is the guy who produced the pod. He was pitching it to him. And then we just started it. And like, he's the greatest radio personality of my lifetime.
Right.
So it's like him talking on a mic, he's mastered it. And I learned so much just from him in general. He is also a genius.
Right.
Like true marketing genius.
He gets it. He definitely gets it.
Genius. So yeah, just getting to do that every single week. And then just the show's been going on for 10 years. People are like, different people are just finding out about it now.
Right.
And like we've been doing this for 10 years.
Wow.
It's so funny because like when white people will talk to him about the show sometimes, they'll be like, yo, I see you doing that. I see you on Andrew Schulz's show. And then black people will talk to me about it. They'll be like, yo, I saw you on Charlamagne's show. And we're just like, yeah, it's fine, dude. like, we don't need to explain this. Right. But yeah, it's just awesome. He's just, he's pure entertainment.
How do you think podcasts have helped you?
I think what it did is allowed me to create authentically. Okay. So like before that, well, not even before that, but like I don't want to make my only money to provide for my family with my art.
Right.
Because then you're compromised. It's like you need to go out there and do shows.
Right.
So now I'm rushing jokes.
Right.
I'm rushing the next tour. I'm doing whatever. And podcasting has allowed me to maintain my life and then make sure that the art is 100% authentic in terms of what I want to create. And so I'm like the most grateful for that. It's also great for like building an audience and an understanding of who you are. And like, despite people misunderstanding you on the internet or believing like these headlines,
one way.
You got, hundreds of thousands of people that really know who you are and they're there to ride for you when shit goes south.
Luigi Mangione has received $500,000 in donations. How is this possible, man?
Well, you want to know.
Yeah, I want to know.
The way that Americans react to these events will tell you everything about how they feel towards these institutions. Americans are hurting, bro. Yeah. They're upset. They feel disillusioned. Like they don't trust the government. They don't trust the medical industry. They don't trust the pharmaceutical industry. They don't trust the food. They don't trust the wars that we're in. Like, so when one of these guys that's at the head of a healthcare company gets clipped in brutal, disgusting fashion, like we shouldn't be like laughing about it.
Right.
We're already so hurt. We're already so destitute that we're like, f that guy.
Yeah. People are like, oh, he deserved it. Charging all those high ass prices for all that medicine.
For real. Like
that's how they think.
But if I'm the companies or if I'm the billionaire class, I'm these super rich people, I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, we're pushing them too much. In other words, like I imagine, I don't know, I don't got that kind of money, but I imagine like the people who got all the money,
yes,
the billionaires, they don't want poor people to be too poor, because then we show up at your door with the guns and we start shooting you.
Yeah.
You need poor people to be have just enough where they don't want to rebel and revolt. Right?
Yeah.
The poor got to be a little rich.
You got to have a little something.
They got to have a little something.
Because they don't have enough, they'll come get it from somewhere.
Because if I'm dying anyway, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
So if you're the super rich, you have to look at a moment like that and you got to go, we got to get these poor people some money. Because if they don't have money, they're knocking on my door. So if I'm Jeff Bezos, if I'm Elon, if I'm Zuckerberg, if I'm all these guys, whatever that billionaire class is, I'm going, hey, how can we get Americans some money? Because they are not happy. And they're supporting a guy who just clipped a dude who's not even he's not even a billionaire.
Right.
That's the shit that I'm looking at.
How did growing up in New York shape you with the diversity because like you said, New York has everything.
Yeah.
And they're right there.
Greatest city.
So you had to it wasn't like me, I mean, I went to school with whites, but we was here, they were there. How did that shape what we see, the Andrew Schulz that we see sitting here today?
It showed me how awesome people are. People are awesome, and their cultures are awesome. And I got firsthand knowledge of it. You know, I got to go see what a bar mitzvah is.
Okay.
And a bat mitzvah is. You know, I got to see these Jewish kids turn into men and women, and they're holding the chairs and jumping up, and I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. I would want that for a birthday party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to try foods you wouldn't imagine. And I got to see the way that my Dominican friend's mom was just so doting and loving on her children and how protective and kind. And I got to see the most amazing things about all these different cultures. And I think that's where my curiosity stemmed from. I got to see how hard these Chinese people would work, man. These kids that I would go to school with, they're going to school 7 days a week. You know what I mean? It's not shocking they're getting 1,600 on their SATs. They're working their ass off.
Right.
And I got to see all that firsthand. And it was beautiful. And I think that's where my curiosity and my kind of love for all these different cultures comes from, is I got to experience the best of it. And also every one of us was kind of first generation American. You know, my dad's from America, but my mom's not. So we're all got this immigrant kid mentality. There's this hunger. There's this excitement. We don't have this a lack of hope, which unfortunately I think a lot of people in America have right now. It's we were just dropped on America and we're in New York and it's time to get after it.
Right.
So when we saw somebody with something, it didn't make us feel bad.
Right.
It made us inspired. We're oh, I'm gonna get that shit too.
Right.
We were hustling from young kids. I was making fake DVDs and fake CDs. I'm trying to sell them to the kids in the school. I was doing anything I could to get some money.
Right.
And I think that also came from all my friends around me also trying to hustle.
Right.
It was exciting. It was just, yeah, my upbringing was wild.
Right.
I saw a lot of shit, maybe at a younger age than most, but it's the greatest city in the world. It's the greatest city in the world.
When you look at America, America was built not by natives. It was built by the slaves. It was built by the immigrants from Europe. Why do you think the immigrants are treated so poorly today?
Well, by whom?
Us as Americans, not me.
I don't treat them poorly.
Because I think the thing is, for me, they're doing jobs that I ain't trying to do those jobs no more.
Yeah.
I did them. I worked construction and I worked in manual labor jobs and a lot of the jobs that the immigrants. And I think the way they phrase it is that they're coming stealing your jobs. They ain't stealing no jobs that we want to do. Trust me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's. Actually, I don't even know if that's right because I don't know if there's an American out there who's I would love to do that job.
Yeah.
Maybe there are. Maybe there's plenty that don't. But when I went and interviewed Trump, there are three things I want to talk about.
Right.
There's three things. We had the opportunity to interview someone who might be president, and some people are critical of even doing the interview. But the way I look at that is if you don't have the opportunity, you can't really say what you would or wouldn't do. There's a lot of people. That
guy to be the president of the United States. You absolutely take it.
Right, especially if you care about your country.
Right.
Right, and who knows if I have any influence over Trump? I don't think I do. But there's three things I want to talk about. Number one, I wanted him to say that he was going to protect IVF. That's how my wife and I had to have a kid. We weren't able to conceive naturally. Okay. And two, I wanted to end foreign wars. And three, I wanted some compassion for illegal immigrants that are obeying the law. They're hardworking. Yeah. If you break the law, you're doing crimes, send them the f*** out. You got unanimous support in America for that. I don't think there's any Americans well, let's keep all the murderers that are illegal. Yeah. Get them out here. But if you have somebody that's working their ass off, they have a family here, a pathway to citizenship,
Paying
I think
taxes.
is also, you have to understand, like, my mom's an immigrant. Like, it's impossible for me to not think that immigrants are what make America great. So they make the best Americans. Every American that cries about how American is, right? None of them immigrated here.
Right.
When you immigrate to America, you think that this is the great. My mom can't say a bad word about America.
Right.
I'm telling you that you need that energy. That energy is infectious. That desire. It's what I grew up around. I grew up around all these people who are like, holy shit, I got an opportunity to make it and I'm going after it. And yeah, I wish, I hope that this administration will look at that. It doesn't look like they're doing it, but I hope that they'll look at that, and I hope we find a pathway to legalization for them.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.